Hello again, whiskey friends. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. And if this is your first time here, hey, why not just check out this video, see if it's your vibe, and see if you want to become a whiskey friend too. But today's video, I think, is an important comparison. We're going to break down the Bardstown Discovery 8 versus the Bardstown Discovery 9. If your area is anything like my area right now, Discovery 8 is all over the shelves. It's at the local grocery stores, it's all over northern Kentucky. And I even get the sense that it's not moving that much, or they just made a ton of it because it does seem to be sticking around a lot more than prior Discovery batches. And I do wonder how long it's going to take Discovery 9 to get on the store shelves in order to overtake that 8. Like, I feel like people are going to sit on the 8 until they have to release the 9. So this could be an important decision for you. Should you buy the 8? Should you wait for the 9? So let's break it down together and see if I can inform that decision. Thanks for joining, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. All right. So we got the Bardstown Discovery 9 here. I'm going to pour a little bit in this Glen. I got a Matt ADHD whiskey Glen here. We'll just do a little bit for the good head-to-head. But cheers, Matt, on that one. So that will be Discovery 9. And then Discovery 8, this one's going to go into a Cheech Glen. Cheers, Cheech, a Whiskey Encore. All right. There's a little bit of Discovery 8. Now, let's break these things down head to head before we get into the pours. We'll let those open up a little bit here. First, starting out with the Discovery series overall. If you are unfamiliar with these, Bardstown's been coming out with these the last couple years. They are now up to number 9 in the series. Essentially, a new batch comes out every 4 months or so. And going back to Discovery 3, that's where I jumped on this ship. And man, that is one of my favorite pours of all time. I absolutely adore Discovery 3. Now, a lot of people love Discovery 4. I feel like that is the one where most people enter this story and enter this series was with Discovery 4. After the hype of 2 and 3, people jumped on 4. And 4 was pretty special as well. If I had to rank all these, I would go 3, 4, 2 as being the top 3. I did not buy 5, and 1 I was a little iffy on. So those are at the bottom. 6 and 7 won me back a little bit, but man, 7 and 8, I actually think this is competing for what I would say is probably the 4th best in the Discovery series when I am doing a comparison between 8 and 9. So starting out with just a breakdown, Discovery 8 was 114.1 proof. Discovery 9 is 112.5 proof. So proof-wise, they are very similar to each other. When it comes to the composition of the whiskeys that are inside it, though, they are a little different. So let's get into that just a tad here, get into the details. But the Discovery 8 is 66% Kentucky 12 year. So it's got a good hefty base there. 17% Indiana barely legal rye, a 51% rye mash bill coming out of MGP. Interesting. Then 11% Ontario, 12-year corn whiskey. So you got a light whiskey in there. And then 6% Indiana again, this time a 95.5 rye. So 2/3 of it is a high age 12-year bourbon. Then we got a little bit of light whiskey in there, giving it some sweetness and some heft in the proof, probably. And then we got the Indiana Rise, both the barely legal and a 95.5. So this one is a boo rye. Then going to the Discovery 9, this one's a bit funkier. So it is 35% Georgia 8-year. I still have no idea where this Georgia 4 green is coming from. If you know, let me know in the comments. 31% Kentucky 12-year. And that's a different Kentucky 12-year than what is in the 8. 19% Tennessee 17-year. And I think that's one thing that might keep people astray a little bit. You know, that Dickel can sometimes completely take over a blend. I did just recently do a review of the 9, and I will say Dickel doesn't take over the blend for me here. I'm usually kind of Dickel sensitive or Dickel adverse. I don't have a problem with this one. And then 15% Ontario 12 year. So they both have that light whiskey coming out of Canada there. But that's the only thing that they have in common. Now, the price on this one has been increasing. So if we go back to Discovery 3 that I was talking about earlier, that was about $120. Every time this comes out, it seems to be $5 more. And I just did a review of Discovery 9. You can go back and check out that video. I gave it a 77 out of 100, which means it was a very good pour. But then I said, I'm going to hedge my bet a little bit on who I'm going to recommend this to. I would not recommend it to everybody, mainly because the price. I don't think it brought the value based on that review. I didn't like the nose, but man, did I really like the berry blast on the palate. Discovery 8, I haven't officially given a score to. Did the tasting that predates when I started this review system. So I don't have a sense of what that official score would be. Top of mind, I would think that it would probably be right in the lower 80s, but I haven't tasted this probably since that tasting video. So I'm excited to get back into the 8. Well, without further ado, let's get into the whiskeys. And if you are looking to maybe get one of these, hopefully this helps inform your decision. Going to go into the 8 first. We're going to go compare the noses of each. Man, see, 8 has exactly what I miss on the 9. 8 has just this nice oak presence to it. You know, that 66%, that's that 12-year bourbon, is lending in this nice amount of oak. And even though the ryes in this are young, relatively speaking, the oak still shines through this blend. Then the rest is just mostly getting a caramel, maybe a salted pretzel, getting a little bit of a cherry note. But man, I just like the oak on the 8. So then going to the 9, man, the fruits are really coming through on the 9 a little bit stronger on the nose now. Going back and forth here. Man, get that sawdust note though. The thing that kind of turns me off on the 9 is I get a note that I do associate sometimes with the craft whiskey. It's a sawdust. The oak on it almost comes off as like an artificial smell, if that makes sense. And then just getting a lot of vanilla. See, this isn't a glass I like to spend time in, but this one, the 9 I don't like to spend time in, but the eight's really good. So just going off of that, I would give the heads up to the 8 on the nose. Let's go in for taste. Hmm. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Man, I really like this Boo Rye. 2022 was a strong year of Boo Ryes, but this really brings good flavor and complexity and mouthfeel to just every part of the experience here. Hmm. Yeah, lots of fruits. I'd probably zero in on strawberries, maybe even raspberries. The sweetness is very intense, especially on the finish. Getting a little bit of a citrus on the finish as well, almost like I took a lemon, zested it, and mixed it with some sugar and kind of used that as a coating on some other dessert. Ooh, it's sweet. Yeah. Big fan. I'm a big fan of the 8. That oak comes through as well. A lot of oak presence, especially mid palate into the finish, and that finish just keeps lingering. Oh, that is really good. Let me get a quick rinse out here and let's get in Discovery 9. Yeah, Discovery 9. Gosh, that nose. See, Discovery 9 is a completely different Different whiskey. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Hmm. That emerges a lot more than the last time I tasted this. Um, Getting some Dickel notes, but in a good way. Sometimes when you do these things back to back, some parts of it cancel out or they bring different aspects out in each other. So it's important to go back and forth. But on the Discovery 9, the thing that sticks out to me on this one is a very nice blast of fruits. I almost equate it to a fruity pebbles kind of a fruit note. Like there's just so many fruits coming at you and they're so sweet that I just want to call it fruity pebbles. And those really escalate mid palate and then hang on into the finish. You know, what really strikes me now doing these back to back is how impressive the finish is on each of these. Oh, yeah, getting some nice chocolate there too. Uh, I guess it's even coming across as a cherry cordial. I don't think I put all those together last time, but the vanillas, the cherry, the fruits, and then that chocolate essentially makes a cherry cordial, or maybe even a box of different berries going to be in those different chocolates as you go through the package. Maybe that's a more apt description. Man, that is a delicious, delicious taste. I'm going to go back one more time for the eight. You know, if I were to say head to head here, gosh, when it comes to the taste, these two are batting at a very similar level. Hmm. Man, oh man, the citrus really shine through now going head to head on that one. The tasting them back to back really makes the rye shine through on Discovery 8. Man, that was a really good orange note. Oh, I enjoyed that quite a bit. And it's still going now. I think the finish on 8 is a little stronger than 9, so that's going to elevate it. And you're getting a little bit into just flavor profile. They're kind of batting at a very similar level. So it's just the notes that it's giving you. I'm going to give the victory on this one to Discovery 8. If I had to buy one of these, it would be Discovery 8. Now tasting these back to back, a part of me is even more interested in maybe getting another Discovery 8, where I said I kind of closed the door on Discovery 9. I was one and done. Man, Discovery 8 has a whole lot going on. I really enjoy that. I'm going to try to use that one in some blinds coming up here. Maybe I'll put both of these in blinds. That's one fun thing to do is to throw these into a blind set. Just see which one emerges. Oh, yeah. Discovery 8. So hopefully that helps you if you are in between these two bottles and looking to make a decision. My recommendation is Discovery 8 over Discovery 9. Just keep in mind when I put these on a scale of 1 to 100, 0 to 100, Bardstown 9 got a 77. I bet you Bardstown 8 probably hits it like an 83, 84. That's me surmising without going through the full exercise. But that would be the distance between these two, and I'm more willing to pay the 150 for Discovery 8 than I am for Discovery 9 again. Whew. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today, whiskey friends. That was a really fun tasting. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.